Okay, so essentially, the past like 2 hours, I don't know what's going on. I had an Amtrak from Durham, where I live, to Michigan, essentially, and I missed it because traffic was so bad. Like, I called, okay, my Amtrak left at 6. It's like usually like 20 minutes there. I Googled it though, and like there was gonna be some traffic. Said like 34. So I was like, okay, like let me call an Uber at like 5. So I called the Uber at 5. It takes 20 minutes to get here. And then I like get in the Uber and it says it's gonna take like 45 minutes to get there. I'm like, okay. So I missed my train basically. It said like my estimated arrival time was like 6:15, 6:20 range, like depending on what app you used. And my train departure time was set for 6:04. So I was like, I'm not making that. The good news is I can reschedule those tickets wherever. So I canceled the tickets. And then my like Uber driver was like talking about like how like women like unity, and she was like, let me just drive you back. I was like, lit. So she just drove me back. And then I'm like in my dorm, obviously. And I was like, okay, well, what do I do? So basically, the options right now are I have housing in New York City at Columbia University, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week, okay? I have to leave this dorm by Saturday morning. It's currently Tuesday. I feel like I should draw a map. Let's draw a map. So, don't ask me why it starts on Tuesday. Today's Tuesday. That's why I started on Tuesday. Okay, so we have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. This is when we get kicked out of the dorms. No dorm. And like morning. But my friend, I could probably stay with my friend at his house for like a few hours. So then I have Sunday night. I have Saturday night, Sunday night. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday in New York City, I have a place to stay. I have to be back around this time to like for Christmas. So basically we have like from here to here. Now it's like, what am I gonna do? I don't know. So game plan it with me, right? I could go on an Amtrak here and then get an Airbnb. Okay, Airbnb, bam, I'm in New York City 2 extra days. I get to explore the city even more. Christmas time, New York City, boom, awesome. The only issue with that is the ones I can afford are the shared rooms in Yonkers. Which is like fine, except I don't have like pepper spray or anything like that. And also, Yonkers is like, according to the comments on the Airbnb thing, it's like 2 hours from the city. According to Google, it's 1. So, either way, it's a long way from the city. But low-key, like, I'm down for some transportation. Because, like, once I'm in the city, I'll probably be there all day. I can pack a little go bag. Okay. And then we have housing. That's gonna be lit. And I love the person I'm staying with. Then I also have all of this with potential, but I don't have this anymore because she is leaving. The person I'm staying with is leaving all of this. So the original game plan was I was gonna go today, and it was like a really long train, and I was gonna get there Thursday to Michigan. And Michigan, I was gonna be there until Sunday, and then I was gonna have a train from Michigan to New York, and I was gonna get there on Monday, and I was gonna go here, and then I was gonna fly back home to Durham, and then or like Chapel Hill area, and I was gonna visit my friends in the area for these days. So really, like, if I can figure out like Saturday, Sunday, I'll be straight. But like also like I do have the time to like work around a little bit. I could ask my friends. I asked my other friend who goes to Barnard if I could stay with her Sunday night. That would be lit. And then one of my friends I was gonna visit in these days she goes to MIT in Boston. So, option number 2, I could just pull up to Boston, and I have another friend that goes to school in Boston too, and I could be like, hey guys, what are y'all doing these days? And I could crash. Only issue is it's also exam season right now. So like it's kind of, you can only invite yourself in so much. So that's the issue as of right now. The crazy part of the story, 10%. I need to plug my phone in. The crazy part of this story, beyond the Claire has free Amtrak tickets, is my like childhood idol. For some reason, I don't know what came out of me, but for some reason I like DM'd him like a day or two ago. And like when I like say idol, like I literally like I have his book right there. Like I was obsessed with this man. It was weird. When I was like 7 and 8 and 9, I would just like read his blog. He had a little travel blog, and like I would like watch all these like videos about like how to like pack your bag the best. Like I was obsessed with the idea of like going out and exploring the world one day. For some reason I decided, like, cuz I'm on this like explore the world grind, I was like, let me message him and be like, thank you for like locking me in, because it really was his like little like stories on his blog that like got me like enthralled in like travel. And so I was like, yeah, like let me just message him. And so he responds, and it's not just like I thought it was gonna be like a little assistant response, because low-key like this man has like a following, but he responds and he's like, yes, like, and he's like saying like, you make me feel, he was basically like, oh yeah, like you're making me feel old, but like this is awesome, like thanks for reaching out, and like what's your next trip? And so I was like, oh, like actually my next trip is what is my next trip? I don't know. So I basically gave him a rundown, and I texted him and I was like, yo, like blah 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 blah, this is where we at. So we'll see if it like works out. I don't know, maybe he'll have some like wise advice for me. But I was like, my like 7th grade self, or not 7th grade, my like 7-year-old self is like actually like freaking out. The way that I like idolized this man was insane. Like I wanted to be just like him. I was like, I'm gonna grow up and I'm gonna be a traveler, and I always said, like when I was growing up, I was like, I either want to be a lawyer or I want to be homeless. And I always said I want to be homeless because I want to travel. I wanted to like, I was like, no matter what happens, like nothing's gonna stop me. Like I'm just gonna like learn how to bartend, and I'm just gonna fly around, and I'm gonna teach English and bartend, and like live in like the cheapest place possible, and like sleep at train stations, and like do whatever I can, and like just like I'm just gonna get by, and I'm just gonna travel as much as possible. And like I'm like more realistic than that now, but like the same mentality of like travel like no matter what has like, it was just like instilled in me at like such a young age, and like very very grateful for that. Anyway, I was just freaking out because like, what do you mean I'm talking to like my childhood like idol?